It is insane the amount of snow that can just drop at any given moment. We've been without power for probably, today's Tuesday, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning maybe. We've been without power since, I want to say, Saturday night. Yeah, it's just been layers upon layers. First we had the freezing rain, and that put a sheet of ice over everything, and then the snow came and they just covered all the ice and snow. And then we had another go about the next day with another sheet of freezing ice on top of the snow, and then more snow on top of that. So it's a layer of ice, layer of snow, and then another layer of ice and snow. It's insane. Here's a tractor tire I used to have to flip around for outside working out, but I mean, it is probably froze to the ground, and just sheets of ice everywhere. That is a punching bag. It's probably froze solid. Yeah. Completely frozen solid. A little cage trap. I'd say it's a good 6 inches worth of snow or more. It's more in some places and less in others, but it's just a god-awful amount. It really is insane. Me, and along with another, well, when it first started, it was about 100,000 people in the state of Kentucky that was out of power, and it's awful. It really is awful. I was lucky enough to have my generator. Bought it a while back, but there's little mud holes here in the back of the yard. It's damn near walkable ice, but not quite. And it's even still slush under it from where it was muddy. It's insane. Main reason everybody's running out of power is all that shit up there. All these hillsides. County doesn't decide to come and clear it off at any point, and then you get like this, thousands of people, no power. A lot of them don't have no heat. It's a rough time, but it's a good time to learn as well. If you don't have a generator, you need to get one. Even if it's a small one like the one I got there, or a little over 3,000 watt. It'll run a couple of good heaters, and you can plug in just about any other small appliance you need to. We plugged the coffee pot in earlier, had a good fresh pot of coffee this morning. We plugged our air fryer into it and had some tater rounds and bacon. It's just stuff like that. It's stuff you need to have. We've went through, maybe holds 4 gallons of gas, and you can run off propane. I don't have any propane tanks. My buddy up the road, he's got some in case we need them, but right now we got two 5-gallon jerry cans, and we've went through 2 of them so far. We had to make one trip out to town because nowhere else in this, it's a different town, nowhere else in this town had any gas pumps open, had any power to them. They do now, so it'd be less of a hardship to go get gas if you need to, but we still, they told us we might have power back today, but I have no idea. This is what's causing all the outages right here, is the amount of ice. I mean, it's froze on there solid. And you get that much ice on a big, thank God this is a live tree, but you get that much ice on some of these dead ones that are hanging right above these power lines. Think about all you got. We are lucky enough to have a generator good enough to run the Wi-Fi cord to it and be able to have internet access, because we live in a dead zone. There is no cell signal good enough coming in and out of here to really have much of an impact at all, except for emergency calls. But it's a bad time for everybody, and that's just what I want. That's why I'm kind of recording right now, is to show y'all what's going on, but to also kind of let you know these are things you should be prepared for if you live in areas like this. These ice storms, something like this hasn't happened in a long time, but the same thing happened over the summer, and terrible thunderstorm, and the wind knocked out a couple of power lines, and it was 90, 100 degree days, and we didn't have any air conditioning, which of course ain't near as bad as not having any heat during the winter time, but it's things like that that can get to you. It'd make you miserable. And if you're not up for it, elderly, sickly, disabled, it's a recipe for a bad time and bad disaster. Look at our swimming pool here. Absolutely not solid. Damn, look at that. There's actually still some slush in there, which is kind of surprising, but either way, don't recommend getting out. But what I do recommend is getting prepared, because especially if you do live like where I live in eastern Kentucky, they say it's going to get worse. I don't know about worse, but there's another winter forecast coming in the next couple of days. Hopefully we can get our power restored, and hopefully they can take a little more precaution and make sure we don't lose it again, but it's a very big possibility we might. So I'll definitely be refilling my generator again, and if I don't wind up using it, I'll put a gas saver in it, whatever it's called, I can't remember, but it preserves your gasoline, make sure it doesn't go bad and it doesn't freeze over on you at any point. I'll be doing that, and I'll be filling up my jerry cans. I'll be getting ready again for what's coming. But I mean, if you're not prepared, you need to be prepared, and you need to be ready. I'll go inside here in a second, and I'll present with you a couple of things that will help out a lot just on day-to-day stuff, waiting for power to come back. But they're bringing in the crews from all over the state, places where they're not working too much, and they're bringing them in here to help out with us quite a bit, but it still ain't enough, because they can only work so much. They can only get paid so much too, but that's a topic for a different day. I think our line crews done 15-16 hour days yesterday, and they called in crews from Georgia, of all places, which we're very thankful for those brave boys right there coming up here to help us. But overall, it's just a wild time. I see little cat tracks where my cat's been running around. No, it ain't my cat tracks, it's the neighbor's cat tracks. Where the hell is he going? That's what it looks like. I don't know what it is, but we'll keep on through here a little bit. Just look at my little target set up back here. Buried. Completely buried. Absolutely insane. That string is froze to the screw it's hanging on. Look at that. Big bundles of ice. There's already been tons of crashes. People running into ditches, getting stuck. If you don't have four-wheel drive, for the love of God, don't get out unless you need to. Don't get out unless it's an emergency. Even then, see if you can get the ambulance there if it is that bad. But I'm telling you, I don't recommend it. I don't care how good of a driver you are. Shit can happen, and it ain't worth the risk unless it's an absolute necessity. But that's just my 2 cents on it. do hope everybody's staying safe though. If you have the ability to get gas heat, you need to get gas heat. If you have the ability to get a propane tank hooked up to your house, I recommend you do that. I suspect if we can have this kind of winter one year, we can have it again next year. If you got natural gas lines, after this is over, I recommend calling the company and getting them hooked up. That's what we're gonna do. But if you don't have access to any of that, get a generator. Get a generator like this in here. I bought it from Lowe's. It's a Westinghouse. It'll do gas, propane, whatever. It'll run for 12 to 14 hours on 4 gallon. And it does good for what we need currently. Time will tell, of course, but I bought it brand new. It started first pull. I was happy with it. It cost me $350, I think. It was about the time we had that bad storm earlier in the year. So if you don't have an extra set of power, you need to get your extra set of power. Just look at my brother's truck here. The bed packed. Just packed full of snow and ice. Hard in there. But yeah, definitely look into that kind of stuff, guys. Please. Bring you up front here a little bit. Take a look at some of the stuff out front here. Just look at our driveway. It's just a solid sheet. The only way my boots get traction is because of the snow on top of the ice. All these trees on these hillsides, they're all waiting to fall. Vast majority. Surprisingly enough though, look over here at the creek. Not froze. Running good, surprisingly enough, but it is running quite a bit of water. It's the only reason it ain't froze, honestly. The mailbox is frozen solid. Let's see if we can open it. We can. Because the mail does decide around, I want to make sure they can get it in there. It ought to work. I know the lighting's probably not the best, but another thing I kind of wanted to show everybody is these are Skil power tool batteries, right? What's cool about these is they have a plug-in for USB-C, and if you're like me, and a lot of the stuff you get nowadays is a C to C charger. This brand of power tool, Skil, relatively cheap compared to most stuff, DeWalt and Cobalt and whatnot, and they have these little cords. These are turbocharged cords. So let me show you something. My phone is at 77% currently. Just stuff like that can really make a difference in day to day. I know a lot of people like to argue about power tools, DeWalt, Cobalt, and all that different bullshit, but if you don't have power tools and you're looking to get some Skil, pretty good investment. They work good for what I do, and they have more uses than just for drills and impacts and whatnot. And something else I don't think it's talked about enough in disaster relief is personal protection, not just from the elements, which I don't think I need to tell you to bundle up and to have warm clothes on in the middle of a snowstorm. I don't think I need to tell you that, but one thing that isn't talked about enough, especially if you have disaster relief, especially if you have expensive equipment running, especially if you have anything of value in an area of which people do not hold value, is having the means to defend yourself. And I will not beat around the bush at all on this subject. And what I will show you is a very budget-esque form of defense that is simple, that works, that is just something that if you live in a crime-ridden area where if someone wanted to, they could pull up and steal anything out of your backyard or front yard or whatever, you have the means to stop them. That's all I'm gonna say. And right here, what I haven't showcased this on the channel yet. I just haven't had a reason to, basically. But this is a very standard AR-15. Bare bones, basic. M4 clone lower, APF upper. Very cheap, inexpensive mod light with laser. Just 10, 20 bucks for that. A Sightmark holographic, super simple red dot. I think I paid $80 for it on sale, and that was the only reason I got it, was because it was on sale. I needed a new one. Backup iron sights, just in case the battery dies. Very simple. And that's it. That's it. I've got 3 or 4 spare magazines. I've got a whole lot of backup ammo, but this is a hobby of mine, so I will have more typically, but this is an extremely simple, extremely budget. I want to say this costed under $500 total. I did build it myself, upper bolt carrier and lower receiver and all. This little grip right here is a old airsoft thing I had, but it's metal and it's M-LOK, so it worked. But yeah, something like this is pretty much all you need. So just something I figured I'd bring up, since I don't think enough people bring that up enough in disaster relief. It is 100% essential to have backup power, to have backup heat, to have all kinds of backup things in case, you know, everything goes haywire, in case power goes down, in case the electric lines are down, multiple trees are down on lines, and the electric company cannot get to you in time that you would like. Kind of like it is right now. But it's all semantics. It's all stuff you just need to think about. It's 11 o'clock right now. I have no idea when the power company is going to be able to get down here and clear one of the trees that's on one of our power lines. And that's really what's preventing us from having any electricity right now. But we're making it. I just topped the generator off earlier. You all seen that. And I've still got another 5-gallon tank, and that'll run us probably into tomorrow morning, hopefully. If I need to run out and get more gas, I will. But right now the main thing is it's starting to get a little expensive, bleeding into 10 gallons of gas a day. But you do what you got to do to survive, I suppose. But I'll see if I can get this, I'll see if I can plug my computer in, maybe get this video up today or tomorrow. We'll see. If I get power back today, I'll upload it today, but it's all gonna be in due time. I'm not sure if there's anything else I wanted to talk about or bring up, but I do hope everyone is staying safe and staying in and out of the elements as much as possible, bundling up, keeping warm, making sure you have supplies, you have food, you have everything you need. So yeah, I wish everyone well, and I will keep you updated if anything else bad off happens. So yeah.